In this video, we will demonstrate a search using Ovid Medline followed by a parallel search in Pubmed to showcase the differences between the two interfaces. Let's start at the UBC Library homepage, library.ubc.ca. Click on Indexes and Databases. In the search box, enter Medline. You will see in the list of results a few different versions of Medline: Ovid SP, EBSCOhost, and down here, Pubmed. Let's start with the Ovid SP version of Medline. You'll see here that Ovid, we are actually searching not just the Ovid Medline database, but also the in-process and other non-index citations file as well. This is the file that is most equivalent to searching what is included in Pubmed. To take advantage of the functionality of the search interface in Ovid, it is best to break up your search topic into major concepts and search the concepts separately. This allows for better control over your search terms, what you're searching, as well as giving you the ability to combine different concepts. Using our example from our previous video, screening for prostate cancer, let's do a search. So let's take our first concept, prostate cancer. I'm going to type in my terms. You'll see here that this box, Map Term to Subject Heading, is checked. It is checked by default. What happens is, if I do a keyword search and I type in my terms, prostate cancer, and click search, Ovid will return to me suggested or recommended subject headings, or mesh terms in the case of Medline. Here it's suggesting prostatic neoplasms. If I click on that term, it will take me to this tree structure for this subject heading, and you'll see it's highlighted here, and it comes under the broader term genital neoplasms, male. Prostatic neoplasms has 92,684 citations with that tag. There are no more specific subject headings under prostatic neoplasms, so we do not need to be concerned about exploding it. If you want the term to be a major topic of the citation or article, you can choose to focus the search. I am not going to at this point. There is a scope note here. If you click on it, it will give you the scope of this subject heading, for tumors or cancer of the prostate, and what that term is used for. If we're happy with that subject heading, we can then hit continue. And at this point, there are subheadings we could choose to limit our search to or focus our search on. Since we are looking at screening for prostate cancer, we could consider the subheading diagnosis, as well as the subheading prevention and control. It will automatically combine our selections with OR, so prostatic neoplasms prevention and control, or prostatic neoplasms diagnosis. We'll hit continue, and it will have our search and our results at the top there in the search history. Now let's go to the next term. We could choose to search prostate cancer as just a keyword. So in this case, I don't want to search it or map it to the subject heading. I just want to search prostate cancer as a term. Keyword searching would search for the occurrence of these terms in the title or the abstract. So prostate cancer is being searched here in these fields, title, abstract, and other fields as well. What I can then do is, if I've finished searching all the synonymous terms that could relate to this concept of prostate cancer, then I can combine these two sets of results with OR, which brings us back this very large set of results. Now I'm going to consider my next concept, or second major concept, of screening. And here I'm going to map the term, or ask the system to map the term to a subject heading. So it suggested mass screening here. Again, I can follow the same steps. I'll look at the tree structure for the subject heading, and in this case there are more specific subject headings within mass screening. I could choose to explode this subject heading if I wanted to include all of these more specific subject headings, but in this case I'm not going to. Again, the focus option is there as well, but I'm going to leave it broad and not focus. I'm going to hit continue. In this case, I want to include all of the subheadings, so I could either check include all subheadings or just hit continue and it will automatically include all the subheadings. So there's my mass screening subject heading. Again, I could choose to just search screening as a keyword. The search history just gets contracted, so if you click on expand, it will show you all your steps in the search history. And with this one, again, I can choose those two search results and combine the sets with OR. At this point, I could choose to look at how many results I get if I were to search the prostate cancer concept and combine it with the screening concept with the Boolean operator AND. I have 7,317 results, which is quite a large amount. I could think about perhaps looking at the specific screening tool. So in my case, I'm interested in the PSA, or prostate specific antigen tool. So let's try that. PSA, map term to subject heading. And here it is, the second suggested subject heading. So looking at the tree structure, here it is. There's no more specific subject headings that I need to consider. I'm going to go back up. I'm not going to focus the search. I will hit continue. And again, here I'm going to include all the subheadings. And then I could do PSA as a keyword search. Combine that with prostate specific antigen as a subject heading. And now I have a third concept that I can include in my results and combine here with line 7 with AND. And instead of 7,317, I have a smaller set of 3,796 that also talk about prostate specific antigen, or PSA. There are other ways to limit the number of results. We could look at limiting to publication year, so 2010 to 2013, or to current. There are additional limits. So perhaps we may only be looking for a particular publication type. Now let's do a parallel search in Pubmed. Although Pubmed is freely available to everyone who has internet access, you may want to link to Pubmed through the UBC library website. With Pubmed, you are provided with a Google-like search box. In most cases, people search Pubmed by typing in all the search terms into the search box. So we've typed in prostate cancer screening PSA, and it should assume and between those terms. And we have 11,531 results, which was much more than the 3,700 that we got through Pubmed or through Ovid Medline. So what is happening in Pubmed? It's not simply just doing a keyword search on your terms that you typed into the search box. If we scroll down, you'll see in the search details box on the right hand side here that it has actually translated your search terms. So if we click on see more under the search details, you'll see how Pubmed has taken your query and translated it. So it did recognize that prostate cancer should map to the mesh term prostatic neoplasms. It's also going to search prostatic and neoplasms as two separate keywords, and also prostatic neoplasms as a keyword phrase. It will also then search your terms that you've typed in. Then for screening, it did recognize that diagnosis as a subheading would be appropriate here. And then it also found mass screening as the mesh term, as well as early detection of cancer. However, it did not map PSA to prostate-specific antigen as a mesh term, but it will search it as a keyword. This may be the reason why we've resulted in 11,531 citations. You can see that Pubmed gives you quick results, but may not be as precise and may contain irrelevant citations. Whereas in Ovid, it allowed you more control over what terms you were to search. It is always a good idea to check the search details box to make sure that Pubmed has translated your search query appropriately. Pubmed has additional filters or limits here on the left-hand side, and other ones that you can also view. If you view an abstract, you'll see the UBCE link, which will link you to a search of the full text resources that UBC Library subscribes to. This is the advantage of linking to Pubmed through the UBC Library website. In summary, use Pubmed to search when you want quick results with strategies automatically created for you. However, if you are wanting to do a more thorough search where you are guided through selections for a precise search based on medical subject headings, subheadings, and limits, consider searching the Ovid version of Medline. It will allow you to build a search strategy in steps and try multiple combinations.